What's up, everybody? Welcome to Texas, United States. Yes, I was just in Peru yesterday. I am in Texas today. I was traveling South America for a while. For you subscribers who are expecting another Ladakh, India travel video, I'm so sorry. You know, I'm just on barely episode 4. I have like 10 other episodes to upload, and I'm sorry for cutting in the middle of that series because I know everybody's super excited about it. But today I got a really special gift, and I definitely want to share it with you guys as soon as possible. This is the GoPro Hero 7. This camera releases September 27th. It is September 23rd, and yes, this is real, and I have it before most anybody else in this world. Now, I know the question you're asking yourself, why do I get a GoPro before everybody else? Well, I'm actually part of the GoPro family here in the United States, so every single year they send me this camera a week early before its official release. So 4 or 5 years ago, I actually worked with GoPro for the release of the Hero 3 Plus Black Edition on their camera. So if you ever walk down Best Buy or an electronics store and you see the GoPro kiosks, you actually see my motorcycle video usually playing on there. I did that project with GoPro, and ever since they've been very cool, and every year they send me a free camera. Here's the secret. I'm doing this video as soon as possible because nobody else really has it, and if I can get my video, my review up first, it helps with the search optimization, and basically I get a bigger audience for people to enjoy my cool travel videos. So today I'm gonna give you a very in-depth review of what I think of this GoPro. I've used every single GoPro that's ever come out since the very beginning. So I have a lot of advice, a lot of experience with these cameras. And basically I'll give you all the information you need so you guys can make a good choice on if you wanna buy this or if you wanna keep your Hero 5 or your 6. Let's face it, we can't buy a new GoPro every single year. I struggle trying to change my camera gear every single year. Yeah, that's the deal. So let's get to it. Hey everyone, my name's Alex. I'm an ex-medical student who sold all his belongings in 2012 to travel around the world. 50 countries, and the adventure continues. First things first is the packaging pretty much looks like the same. Let's open this baby. In the box, we got the usual stickers, manuals. We got a charging cable, we got 2 stickies, 1 round, 1 square, and we got a battery. Tell here is the GoPro 7. This is the GoPro 6. It is pretty much the same thing, same structure, same housing. The nice thing is that the batteries are exactly the same from the GoPro 6 to the GoPro 5. This is the GoPro 4 one, and yeah, it's slightly different. All right, so the very first thing about this GoPro is that these aftermarket batteries that you see here do not work with the GoPro 7. So these are actually meant for the 5 and the 6. It has voice control, it has GPS. It actually made the new user interface more like a cell phone, so it's a little easier to handle and more intuitive. Now the picture quality is the same. There's 12 megapixels per picture. However, they have a new feature for HDR, so we're going to try that out. It's supposed to have an electronic stabilization, so it's supposed to be better than the 6 and the 5. It still crops it at 10%. Now there's this new feature where you can actually shoot 15-second, 30-second clips, so you don't have to leave it on. You click it once, it gives you 15-second recording time or 30-second recording time. 4K at 60 frames per second can now be stabilized. On the GoPro 5, you cannot stabilize your 4K footage using its internal stabilization. That's a really nice upgrade. Now, as far as settings, we got 4K 60 frames per second, 30 frames per second, 24 frames per second. We got 2.7K at 24, and we have 2.7 at 120 frames per second. Then obviously we got 1080p, and we actually have all the way up to 240 frames per second, which is the same thing you'll find in the GoPro 6. So it has quick capture, it has obviously the preferences here, the Wi-Fi, the connections of voice control. Now GoPro says they're gonna give a firmware update so that the GoPro 6 actually has the same interface. When that is, I don't know. Okay, here's the most exciting thing for me as a filmmaker, is that it has Hyperlapse Mode with image stabilization for the images. Here it tells you if you stabilize the video by twice the thing, for 1 minute it gives you 30 seconds, 5 times 1 minute recording creates 10-second videos. If you do it times 10, 5 minutes of recording creates 30 seconds of time warp video. These are the settings to do hyperlapse videos. All right, so for pictures, you got the same thing. You got night lapse, you got time lapse, and you have the time warp. I can guarantee you this battery is not gonna last exactly the same as the Hero 6. Here's the kicker. In 4K, if you do 60 frames per second, it does standard stabilization. However, if you go to 30 frames per second, it gives you hyper smooth stabilization. At 24 frames per second, also gives you hyper smooth. 2.7K, 120 frames per second, stabilization is not supported. At 60 frames per second, however, it gives you hyper smooth stabilization. This is a really nice feature for everything. Obviously, you can change the aspect ratio here to 4.3 or 16:9. Why am I really excited about hyperlapse video on this that's stabilized? Is because usually when you do hyperlapse videos, you gotta have a tripod just like what this camera's on, and you basically have to do it perfectly. You gotta set it up, and it takes so much time to do it on setting up the tripod, the right shot, the right angle, stitching it all together. Doing it on the GoPro makes it so much easier. Another neat feature as far as us Instagrammers is concerned, portrait-wise, it actually shifts the screen to do that. So when it saves the file, it actually saves it portrait-wise. Why is that important? That is because in Instagram, if you take a photo landscape, you actually have to crop it to get the best dimensions for Instagram. But if you take a picture in this portrait mode, you can actually get the full screen on Instagram. Head over to my Instagram now to actually see examples of that. It's kind of a nice feature, less editing required. I'm going to share a comparison between both cameras. I have this great little contraption so you can actually see the same angle, same height, same everything on both cameras. GoPro 6, I got for GoPro 7, real world comparison filming. Okay, check it out. We got the GoPro 6 and we got the GoPro 7. Now the settings are exactly the same, 1080p, 60 frames per second. However, the GoPro 6 is on normal stabilization and the GoPro 7 on hyper smooth stabilization. So we're gonna do a little spin here, which is what I usually do in my videos. I usually say, hey guys, I'm here, check it out. As you can hear, the audio is probably exactly the same, and I'll do a little bit of walking so you can actually hear the difference. So this is the street I grew up on. So now let's do a little bit of jogging to see how the stabilization works. So obviously my arm is shaking quite a bit. Stabilization on the 7. Difference? I think so. Now the other question is, a GoPro good for vlogging? Not really, just because of the audio. As far as the picture and the facility and the ease of it, yeah, it's a nice little vlogging camera to start with, but the audio is the biggest thing for me, as you can hear. Okay, it is 12:30 p.m. and the light is very, very harsh right now. I've been reading the specs and the GoPro 7 should have a little bit of a different color scheme than the GoPro 6. So you'll notice a slight difference with the colors, but not a whole lot on normal settings. All right, a little bit of a change of scenery here so we can tell the difference between both GoPros. Now I'm filming in the Pro Tune color scheme. Same 1080p, 60 frames per second, hyper stabilization, normal stabilization. Now, this is my favorite setting on GoPro, is the flat color screen. It provides for a real cinematic feeling and a lot more flexibility during color grading. And a flat color scheme, I was able to really create a cinematic video with the GoPro. The ISO minimum is always at 100, and the maximum, I usually put about 800 to 1600. The sharpness is at low. My question is, can you see a difference between the flat color scheme and manual settings between the 7 and the 6, which is where I think it really counts. I honestly can't tell much of a difference. So as far as video quality is concerned with the GoPro, it's pretty much exactly the same quality as the 6 and the 5. So what I'm gonna do now is basically pretend I'm using it as a gimbal. I'm gonna hold it really slow and we'll see how great the hyper stabilization actually is. So I'm basically just holding both cameras super still and I'm walking really, really fast. This is wide angle on both the cameras. Stabilization should be much, much better. But we'll see. Hey guys, there I am. Hey. All right, let's go inside my house here and we'll do a little quick walkthrough, see how the light adjusts and the shadows. There's my grandfather watching television, walking through the rooms here. All right, we're now back outside, and from what I can tell on the screen is the stabilization is pretty amazing on the 7. Excited to try out the photo mode because there is an HDR only setting on this one, used in high contrast scenes with minimal motion. HDR basically takes a photo in 3 different exposures, combines it, and you get a lot more contrast, a lot more dynamic image. One quick thing, the HDR photo only works on a single photo shot. It does not work on time lapse. Not exactly ideal, but it is what it is. Right now I'm going to try the time warp, otherwise known as hyperlapse setting on the video. Image stabilization on pictures, creating hyperlapses. The benefit of this is that usually you have to get a tripod, take the picture, get the right thing, get a post-production stuff. It becomes a real nightmare and labor intensive to do hyperlapse videos. So let's see what we can do. Hyperlapse setting on this, so far from what I've seen, is amazing. It's quite magical. So I'm gonna go do some other examples in some other places. So I actually brought my mom along and she's gonna drive me around so we can actually do some hyperlapse stuff on this cool camera. Right, Mom?
Let's go for it.
Let's go for it. Here's the deal, is that the hyperlapse I'm actually doing handheld, which is a big thing because most hyperlapses, you need tripods. So all the hyperlapses you can see now are all handheld. Guys, I'm now editing the video that you're watching now, and I can tell you definitely the GoPro 7 is the best GoPro ever made. So on the market, this is going to be worth $400. There's going to be lesser versions as well, the silver and the white version, I believe, something like that. Question is, should you buy this? That's up to you and your budget. If you have a 5, I would definitely jump to a 7. If you have a 6 and you want to jump to a 7, the difference is not going to be that big. Am I going to sell all the ones I have that go to 7s? Probably not. I'll be just fine with just one GoPro 7. The selling point for me on the 7 over everything else is the Hyperlapse Mode. That just saves me so much time post-editing and getting a tripod and going crazy. The videos you saw speak for themselves. What I was doing is just holding the camera this way and making sure that the object was in the very center of the screen, and it did such an amazing job. Only problem is you can only have it on wide angle view. You can't do linear, you can't do medium view, which I wish you could do. The thing I forgot to mention is that you can actually go live on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube with this. I could be paragliding, doing something on my phone, and actually shooting live on a really nice wide angle. Your cell phone does not have a nice wide angle lens. This one has an amazing wide angle lens. HDR Picture, there's certainly a difference. It's not a big deal because if you go into the manual settings, Pro Tune, flat color scheme, and if you shoot in RAW, which both have settings for, you can pretty much manipulate the image however you want. You do get a little more of the highlights with the HDR shooting. Again, would I pay $400 for that when I already have a GoPro 6? Probably not. Definitely the stabilization for the 7 is superior than the 6. By how much? I'm gonna calculate probably a 10 to 15% improvement off of the 6. From the 6 to the 5 image stabilization, it's a huge difference. It's probably like a 40% difference for me. Will I buy more 7s? Probably not. Maybe just one more. Should you buy it? Up to you guys. You now have all the information that you need. Thank you for watching this video. If you haven't seen the Indie Doc series, check out the description below. If you haven't subscribed, be sure to click and subscribe. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.
More than you can take when you're waiting for that phone call or some